although it needed that push from you guys to like, okay, this is not working. And I hear there was a fee once, although they scrapped it, is it?
Yeah, they scrapped it because, I mean, that was illegal, the way the fee was put. But I still hear that there's still like an expiry date on IDs for the people who are getting new ones, which is also something that, you know, we're pushing back on. It shouldn't expire. It's something that should be for life. It's your number. It doesn't change. So it should be for life.
Okay. So that's good. What we know is that the electoral process is where we as citizens of Kenya have a right to say the leaders that we'd like to see. Are there other venues or avenues that more people can get involved in, so that we are not waiting for 5 years to have a say at the table?
Absolutely. We normally ask people, what's your interest? Like, is it business? Is it agriculture? Is it health? Because every community, you're within a ward, and in every ward, there are representatives. So for members of county assembly, and that also means that there's budgets. So there's budgets, there's resource that has been assigned to your community, and get to know for what. Through some of our conversations, especially in Mathare, we found out that you're supposed to have a school within every ward, a public school. And so in Mabatini, we found out that they have no school, none. So all the kids in Mabatini ward are going to the various nearby wards for school. And so, you know, the community, they decided to, you know, write a notice or a letter to their representative. So even now as we speak, they're putting up a school in Mabatini. So, so it shows you that we've seen resources allocated to a community need. And it's because the community brought it up. So I would say everything is interesting. Like, you will find something that's interesting to you. And for that community, because it was mainly mothers with children, education was really important for them. So what interests you, and how is it trickling down to your everyday life? Is it the potholes around you? Is it the garbage not being collected? Is it that the marketplace, you don't have a place to do your biashara? I mean, there are so many things that we could pick up and be engaged with in our community.
Okay. So just for the sake of, you know, like, let's say, like for myself, like if I'm a layman in this, let's say where I live, the roads are inaccessible. Who do I go to, you know, apart from tweeting about it and, you know, complaining about it on the WhatsApp groups of the neighborhood? Where can I go to seek redress on this?
Your MCA.
Okay.
That's the office that actually deals with roads, which is funny because, so there's the national roads, then there's the ones within the county, so they are different. But then the ones in your community, it's normally your MCA, unless it's a road that's passing like through a county that's a main road, right? And the thing that's interesting is a lot of times when politicians are making promises, they'll make promises about, I'll put a new road for you, but not everyone has access to that budget. And not everyone has control of that budget. And so I would say the most basic is knowing even who your MCA is. Where is their office? What are they working on? And then the other thing is to learn from other communities that have built even foundations, like Kilimani. Kilimani, they have their own sort of private, citizen-led kind of watchdog, you know, enterprise where they follow up with their MCAs. They have a relationship with their MCA. They're able to actually coordinate together and work on issues together, see how they are working, or even find out people who are part of such, because there are many resident communities like that are functioning very, very well. And that's the second thing that I would recommend. The third is there are civil society organizations like Power Radio, for instance. So Power 254, they have a podcast, and they mainly talk about issues and the legal aspect of them and how you can be involved in them, especially if you just want to know the theoretical side of things. I think it's also important to dive into the civil society sector and what are they producing. Like Okoa Uchumi, they are constantly producing about public debt. How much we owe, how much we've lost, how much taxes and revenues we need to meet that debt. So if your area is finance and the economy, Okwa Uchumi.
Yes.
So whatever issue it is, there's definitely a civil society working on that issue.
Okay. And you've talked about the ward level. What about the county level? Is there a redress for individual, like I can walk into the county governor's office and say, this is not working in the city, or how does that go?
So the county governor, he does control, or she, but there are very few she's. They control the budget for the county, true.
Yes.
And the thing about governors and why senators are fighting with them is because senators don't really have a budget for the county. And what we've learned with our politics, especially Kenyans, they like to see things. They don't like, Ati, you've brought a good policy for the county. They want to see you've built a stadium.
Yes.
You've put a road. Now, those budgets are controlled by the governor.
Yes.
And so senator is supposed to oversight governor and make sure, are you doing a good job with the money coming into our county? So it's to decipher that. So governors work a lot with MCAs.
Okay.
As much as MCAs are at the bottom of the chain, they're some of the most powerful positions that we have, because it is MCAs that can actually impeach a governor. It is MCAs through the governor's budget. He'll have access to, or she'll have access to tenders, but they end up being implemented by MCAs in certain communities run by MCAs.
Okay.
So MCAs is the most important position for me.
Yes.
And I think that we often overlook that.
Yes.
Because members of parliament, they have, larger constituencies, but their budget is national. So they are not really working with localized budgets unless they individually fundraise for it. But then when you're talking about the MCAs at the ward level, that is provided by government for them to work with the community to do, including public participation forums, including town halls. They're the ones who are supposed to interact. So every time you see like finance bill is supposed to have participation, MCAs, they're the ones who are supposed to hold those forums as low as the ward level for people to participate. But what we have, a lot of political interference. We will have MPs playing a role where not necessarily supposed to be, some MPs sidelining MCAs.
Yes.
That's now where you see, MPs have to be friends with MCAs in a community. If they are not, they don't come from the same political party. The MCAs frustrate the MP. So it's also, politics is also about the kind of friends you can make.
Yes.
And then finally, I don't know if you saw the Madaraka Day, June 1st, the speech by Cecily Mbarire, the governor of Embu. She was like, people are trying to oust me, from my position. Honestly, governors are constantly dealing with politics.
Yes, instead of the work that they've been given to do. It's maintaining the seat.
Yes. They are normally just focusing on their own seat and whether it's secure.
Yes.
And it was very interesting to me to see that, Deputy President Kindiki actually ended up having an engagement with the members of parliament and saying, no, guys, like, we need to work together. Like, by the time you're having a deputy president come in, it shows you how powerful MCAs and MPs combined can be to the governor.